Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a general vlog. So, most of you probably don't know, but I am a volleyball coach. We have games that run from August until the middle or end of October. And we just had tryouts and we're going to be going. We've got Bluegrass State Games, which is a big, massive tournament. And we also have like our youth camp that we run and our team camp that we do. And all of that is happening in like the next couple of weeks. And then we're going to start season. So I'm going to be very busy. And I don't know how much time I'm going to have to like film and edit and all those things for like regular videos. I have lots of ideas. But between that and my full-time job and, having a life, my time is very limited. So I think that the best way to like keep videos coming out and staying kind of updated is to just do a general vlog. So the purpose of these is just to talk about the books that I'm currently reading, and if they are showing up in a different vlog, like I'm currently working on a thriller vlog and my TBR challenge vlog, those won't show up in this vlog so that you don't have to hear about them repeatedly, because we know it takes me a long time to read books sometimes, and so you're already going to hear about them a dozen times. I don't need to add to it. So this one is just for the books that I'm reading outside of that. So those books are currently Before They Are Hanged by Joe Abercrombie. This is book 2 to the first law series. We're just now starting our adventure, basically, as we follow Logan and Bayaz and the gang and on their quest. Like, we just got started. So that's fun. It's a very grim, dark world, and I am just loving it. And I'm so excited to see where the plot goes. I mean, it's a reread, but it's been so long. Like, I think I read this one in 2020, 2021, so it's been a while, and I don't remember what happens in which book. So I'm excited. I'm also reading Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. This is book 2 in a giant epic fantasy series. Made many videos on trying to get through it. It is a 48-hour audiobook, and I am about halfway through. So, still working on my way through that one. And I think that is currently all that I am reading that is not part of another vlog. Oh, no, Stephen. I'm still reading Stephen. I think I'm almost 70% of the way through Stephen. This is a horror book by Amy Cross, and we're following this what are they called? Nuns. She didn't really get to be a nun, but she grew up in a convent. Yeah, that's cool. It's called convent, right? And so now she's being a governess to this family, but the baby is dead. And so it has been a wild ride full of like nothing really happening. Mostly just us being weirded out that the baby's dead and then trying to like accept it and then trying to like learn what happened to the previous governess. And that's basically the entire story so far. I have no idea what happened to the baby yet. And that's the only reason why I'm here, is because I want to know what happened to the baby. And I want to know what's wrong with this mom. Like, why is she carrying this baby around for 3 months after it died? Like, what are we doing? So, that's what I'm currently reading. And welcome to the vlog. Okay, so I've been listening to Before They Are Hanged, and I don't know, probably like 15% in or something. And I am having a great time, and I know I give Glocta a really hard time because of the fact that I don't like him as much as most people like him. However, I do like him more in this second book, and I think a lot of that is because of the fact that in the first one, he is dealing with all these people, and they will say something, and he'll have a thought, and it's like kind of snarky, and then he won't say it, he'll just say something else that's kind of like placating to whoever he was talking to. Well, in this second book, he's got a lot more power, and he actually says the things that he's thinking. And I love it so much more. Like, I think it's because I don't like weak characters. I like people who are assertive and who, like, will stand up. And so he's actually saying a lot more of those things, and I think that's probably why I like him a little bit more in this book. Logan is still my favorite. We haven't gotten a lot of Logan yet because, like, he's now with a group of people who are central characters, and we're getting, like, their perspectives, and so we're not getting a lot of his perspective yet. Baez is always, he's so entertaining. He has no care about nothing, and he's so funny. And we did get introduced to Casca. I think that's how you pronounce it. And he is in a different book, and I love him so much. He's such a drunkard. Although, is he really? We don't know. But he is so much fun. I love him. I don't know why he really shouldn't, like, I really shouldn't like him because he's useless most of the time. But I do really like him. And so we just got introduced to him. And the fun part about rereads is that, like, you actually get to see those little connections because he's not like a huge character in this book. At least I don't remember him being a huge character, and so seeing him be introduced. And then who else? They mentioned Mercado, and that's just a throwaway name right now, but I know how it comes in and connects later. Also, I apologize if you can hear the beeping. That is my phone going off, and I'm in my car. So it's connected to the car, and so it just likes to ding. But anyways, yeah, I really like seeing how they get introduced early and it's like a throwaway thing, and then you know how they come in to connect later. So that's pretty cool. I'm also reading Stephen, and I'm doing the ebook of Stephen, and you know how I was like, well, I'm not sort of loving it, but I'm sort of intrigued. Well, I am definitely intrigued. We're moving now. I literally was reading this one scene and I was like, legit, like, reading this book, and I covered my mouth because it was quite a scene. Um I don't know, there's no words to share how good, not good, but how much this scene, like, really affects you. Um what else? Oh, I am currently in just finished this chapter of, like, the narrator is like, turn away now. Skip this chapter. Don't read it if you can't handle it. And I'm like, I'm absolutely gonna read this chapter. Because, like, how can I not read this chapter? Because, like, I need to know what it is that I'm not supposed to, like, want to know. So I'm definitely gonna read it, and that's where I'm at. And I wanted to update you before I read that chapter because I want to know how disturbing it is. Like, in her thing, she's like, I've never told anybody the full details of this part. Only even told one other person that it happened, and I'm just like, what are we doing? Like, I want to know. I am so nosy. I'm like the nosiest person. Like, I want to know all the drama. So just let me know all the drama. Like, I just want to know. And so, yeah, that's where we're at. Having a great time so far. Haven't read any of Words of Radiance right now because I've got some thriller books that I'm trying to finish because the loan on Libby is running out, so I'm trying to, like, finish those. So Words of Radiance is kind of taking a back seat for a moment because I know that one's gonna take me forever. So not in a hurry to read it. I think that was all. So I will check in later. Okay, so we finally got a Logan chapter, and I just love Logan so much. He is my absolute favorite character. And right now they're in this little crew, this new crew, and they're off on their journey, right? Well, he is such a barbarian. They talk about him being like an idiot, and he's like bumbling, and doesn't know anything. Well, we're in his dialogue, right? We're in his narrative, and he's constantly talking about, well, if we're going to be on the same team, then we need to have trust and respect, and we need to do these things, otherwise it's going to be easier for us to die when things start to go down. And so you see him attempting to make conversation and attempting to get to know the crew, and they're not having it at all. They can't stand him. They just kind of like brush him off or don't even like talk to him at all. He's trying, and they're not having it at all, and it's so funny. And I love in his narrative how it's constantly saying things like, say one thing for Logan Nine Fingers, and then something happens and it doesn't play out the way that he said it, you know? Like, there was this one scene where it's like, say one thing for Logan Nine Fingers, say that he's stealthy. And then a few minutes later, he's not stealthy at all, and it's just so funny. And it makes the story a little bit more realistic. And, like, they paint him as, like, he's not an idiot because he's got all this wisdom and doing all these things. And we know that his abilities are actually really good. But things just kind of happen, you know, and it's just like, that's life. And I love how it's constantly something different. When they're like, say one thing about Logan Nine Fingers, and then they'll say XYZ. Well, then later in the narrative, it'll be like, say one thing for Logan Nine Fingers, and then it's XYZ, and it's completely different from what it was the first time. And I just find that so funny. It just cracks me up because that's his one catchphrase, that, and you have to be realistic about these things. And it just cracks me up. So I love Logan. My loan from Libby is getting ready to expire. So I don't know when I'll be able to listen to it again because it will probably be months before I get it back on Libby. So we'll see what happens. Okay, so I have been reading Before They Are Hanged because I finished the first law. I think I've updated you on that. And I've been reading Stephen. Finished that. We'll talk about that in a second. And then the other book that was part of this vlog was Words of Radiance. Yeah. And my loan went back on Libby, and I haven't renewed it yet. So there's no updates there. So it might be a minute before we talk about that one again. Before They Are Hanged goes back tomorrow, I think. I'm like 25% in, maybe like 22. And so I don't know when I'm going to get that book back. Hopefully not too long. Because if I have to read it on physical book, it's going to take me the rest of the year to read it, and I don't want to do that. So I'm hoping I can get it back pretty quickly. So I don't know that I have anything else to update there because I haven't listened to it in a minute, and I think I updated you the last time I read. But the big update is Stephen. I finished Stephen, right? And Stephen had an ending. It was pretty good. There were some scenes that were pretty horrific. Like the narrator itself is being like, skip this chapter if you cannot handle reading horrific things. And of course, I had to read it. I had to listen to it. So I did. And wow, it was quite horrific, but definitely readable. It was just definitely not something you would think would ever happen. Kind of reminded me of Terrifier. Terrifier 3, if you've seen that movie and you've seen like some of the weird things that they do in that, that's kind of what it reminds me of. So there's that. But I finally finished Stephen, and definitely worth the read. Not a whole lot happens until the very end, and even then, it's not that dramatic, but it's got some stuff in it. So I did not see the twist coming, which is pretty cool. I love when I can't see a twist coming, but you can see the breadcrumbs to that twist. Also, it is starting to rain, so if you can hear all the rain, I am so sorry. But that's just the way it works right now. But I love when there are breadcrumbs and you can kind of go back through and be like, oh yeah, there's that piece, and oh yeah, I missed that. I hate when a book or a movie or whatever has a completely drastic ending and there's no way in the world you could have seen it coming. It drives me mad. I hate it so much and can't do it. Like I will quit watching pretty quickly. Like Rivendell, I quit watching Rivendell because is it Rivendell? Riverdale. There's a psychiatric place up here, and it's Rivendell. It's always get the words mixed up between it and Riverdale, the TV show with KJ Appa, I think, and Whole Sprouse, that one that was big, popular for a while. I didn't feel like there were enough breadcrumbs for their twist in this at the end of the seasons, so I quit. I was done. I'm not doing it because it's not fun. It's not entertaining for me. So yeah, I was really glad that there were breadcrumbs in this one. You could see it, but it was definitely a twist. Like, it was a twist. It was pretty good. I really liked it. But anyways, I think that is all for now. I don't think I'm reading anything else that's not part of a separate vlog. And so this will probably be the last clip for this one. So I don't think it was very long at all. I don't know that you got a whole lot of updates, but we are going to figure out our footing, and we will figure out the best format, and we will get there. So hopefully they continue to be more entertaining. But yeah, have you read any of these? What are you currently reading? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one.